Hey folks, my guest today is Rahul Aurora. He's the founder of product and growth guy at interview.io, intervue.io. He's been an engineer for 7 years before this and took 500 plus tech interviews in 2.5 years as a hiring manager to realize gaps in the recruitment process. That's how he got this idea, now building and hoping to help make it easier for people to hire better and faster. Rahul, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thanks for being here. So real quick, are you focusing on hiring any specific job title, or are you helping companies hire any kind of role?
Well, right now, I'm a strong believer in making something for someone before we make everything for everyone. So we are starting with tech roles. We'll eventually move to non-tech as well, but right now, tech is the focus for the next few months.
So you're helping people hire engineers.
Yes, that's correct.
I see. Okay, and give me a sort of a backstory here. When did you guys launch the marketplace, and how are you making money? Is there a SaaS product embedded here or no?
Yeah, it's a SaaS based model. It's a subscription, just like subscribing to Netflix. We launched it when I was working part time. The MVP was launched, I think, 1.5 years from now, but it's been 10 months. We're full time funded, and now we've got quite an adoption from India and looking into some adoption from US as well. Although some US companies are also using it, but companies do pay a subscription fee to use the platform, and then there is a finite number of interviews that you get, and the number of team members you can add to the plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and how much total capital have you raised to date?
We have raised a pretty small 120K round.
And
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
when did that raise?
I think about 5 months ago, 5 to 6 months ago.
Okay, got it. So this year you raised $120,000. Now, was that
Yeah.
from friends and family? Do you remember?
Yeah, that was an angel round done by an Indian VC firm called Titan Capital, and then a couple of US investors as well. Brendan Rogers, who's the founder of Wab, along with his partner Harshal Mehta, and then there's another Indian entrepreneur, very popular, Kunal Shah, who's the founder of Bread.
I see. And what was the valuation?
I think close to a million.
Okay, $1 million. And now were you guys pre-revenue at that point, or did you have money coming in?
We had a very small revenue, $400 a month.
400 a month. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And where are you today? How much a monthly recurring revenue?
We are doing approximately $7,000 a month.
Congratulations. Okay, so help me understand. Give me a customer example. Why are they paying you, and how much do they pay?
Example is this company called Zomato from India, and they are paying us because we are helping them streamline the entire tech hiring process, helping them filter a lot of candidates before they actually line them up for interviews. And we are also, saving a lot of their engineering bandwidth because our software is very optimized to take interviews. Now, typically, an engineer would spend around an hour, 1.5 hours to take an interview, to complete an interview. In our software, it is so convenient that you can wrap up the same interview in about 45 minutes without having to give any trouble to the candidate, and the candidate experience is also top notch. So this company is paying us around close to $1,800 a month.
And that's your biggest customer?
That's our biggest customer so far, but yeah, there are 3 to 4 more coming up very soon. So
This is great. And how many customers total today?
we have a total of approximately 90 plus customers to narrow it down to a particular number,
Nine.
and out of which 90, yeah, out of which few of them were early adopters, so they are kind of on a lifetime deal. But some of them, close to about 30 odd, are recurring paying customer,
Got it.
which constitute a part of $7,000 MRR.
Yeah, 7,000 in MRR divided by 30 customers. Each one's paying about $240 per month, correct? Or about two to
That's
three.
correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, walk me through how you got your first, 10 customers.
Great. First 10 customers was quite a hustle. I remember, I was a hiring manager in my previous company, and the idea resonated with me so much because there were 4 key problems that we faced. The data in the recruitment was not centralized; it was scattered across multiple platforms. And whenever I went back to my HR to ask for, "Hey, can you tell me about this candidate?" It took them a lot of time just to search for the data. Secondly, it wasn't very convenient to take interviews. It was very annoying. I used to facilitate 1 or 2 interviews every day, and the first 10 minutes of every interview used to go into wasting into preparing the runtime environment and waiting for the candidate to be hands-on and be up and ready with all the tooling. And that became really annoying. So I was a hiring manager. I thought that I need to find people like myself who are equally annoyed and are taking interviews every day. So an ideal customer profile for me back then was a hiring manager of a hyper growth team. So I started finding people who are lookalikes just like me, and
Where
I
did
called.
you on LinkedIn searching for hiring managers?
Yeah, I did a simple search for companies who are hiring, and then the companies had to be progressive. So I went to their Twitter handles, I went to their LinkedIn, emailed them, and messaged them on Twitter. Some of them were, quite kind enough to respond, and they tried out the product. Eventually, one or 2 months down the line, they ended up onboarding the product.
I see. And you had your first dollar of revenue this year, $400 a month, and now you did a seed round, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And walk me through the team today. How many people?
We are a 9 people team right now, and a couple of people will join us in October. So
How
that'll make an A-level payment deal. Engineers?
Yeah.
We have about five engineers in our team.
Okay. And any sales reps or no?
Yeah, we have a couple of people who does sales, but largely we are doing a lot of content based organic stuff, as well as make a lot of cold outreach happens at the side as well, and we are also figuring out other marketing channels side by side.
Are you still targeting hiring managers on LinkedIn? Is that still a focus?
We are targeting hiring managers. So the sales people, they make sure that they do cold email, and they reach out to people on LinkedIn, etc. But at the same time, I also make sure that I'm vocal enough about what we are building over social media platform, and from there we get certain sort of pull, and then we get some inbound leads as well from our organic channels.
Yeah. Well, why can't people just use Zoom for this? I mean, the big call to action on your website is basically that people can watch candidates code live. And it's like a little Zoom video chat with like a coding interface. And you have
Yeah,
customers like Microsoft, Cisco, Workspan, Rakuten, Walmart, and IBM. Are they all paying customers?
yeah, most of them are paying.
Okay. And so, yeah, why can't people just use Zoom for this and then screen share?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. So typically, when you get on a call with a candidate and you have to take their tech interview, you ask them to share their screen, and they would share their screen, open the code editor, and prepare that runtime environment. And you might want to test them out across multiple programming languages. It might be a Java, JavaScript to a React, and preparing all those environments might take their own sweet time. And that's where Zoom does not help. Zoom will help you do the video calling part of it, but it won't help you prepare that runtime environment. And a tech interview only requires a runtime environment, especially when the interview is hands on. That's only one aspect of the interview. The second aspect of the interview is you want to see the interview later on, because a lot many times engineers do not submit the feedback on time back to the hiring team. So when the feedback is not submitted, the hiring team does not know whether the candidate has been selected or rejected and what was the reason of selection. So
I see.
because that is not there, because Zoom in a software is just there to facilitate video calls, you have to go to another piece of software altogether. It might be a Gmail or a Google Sheet to submit that feedback, and that is painstaking for an engineer, because they would hop onto another call or just get busy in building their product. So no one would submit that feedback on time. Our product does it all automatically. When you take an interview on interview, the code editor is inbuilt, as well as when you're taking notes, they get auto submitted, and hiring manager is sent a notification.
Understood. And talk to me about your cap table today. How much equity do you own?
Right now, the founder's equity is around 88 point something, 7. Yeah, to be exact.
8%?
Yeah.
You're one of the founders, correct? How many founders are there?
We are a couple of founders right now.
How many?
2.
There's 2 of you guys. Okay. So 2
So,
co-founders.
2 of us.
Did
Yeah.
you split the 88% equally?
No, it's not equal.
You have more?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Is that a weird conversation? Hey, come join my team, but I want to keep more equity.
No, it's not. It's actually not. I like to be fair there, and basis whatever you put on the table, and how much fire you have in the belly, and what you're going to do, what things are you going to handle. It's that sort of a conversation. It's never that I always would like to own a smaller part of a watermelon than owning a larger part of a grape. That's my mindset. But yeah, to be honest, I like to be fair there. There'll be more people joining in for sure on the cap table.
Do employees own it right now?
Sorry?
Employees own any of the company right now?
Yeah, they all the employees have ESOPs, so they do have indirectly they do have a part of the company.
So if on a fully diluted basis, how much equity do team members own right now?
10%.
10%. Okay, so that's 98% of the business. So the $120,000, what about that equity? What do the investors own?
Oh no, so the founders' equity was inclusive of ESOPs actually. But if I not include the ESOPs, it would be 78.
I
Then
see.
because ESOPs constitute 10%. Yeah,
Got it. Founders own 78%. You own the majority of 78%. Then employees own 10%, and then investors own 12%.
that's correct.
I see.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Okay, how are you telling me about like how you're managing cash in the bank? So how much cash in the bank today?
Close to whatever we raised. It's almost that much amount only because we almost are
Well,
going
that
to.
made no sense at all. So how much cash in the bank today?
It is close to 100K, or more than 100K, I would say. I
How much
tell you,
does it give you?
the runway.
You like or how much are you burning per month?
We're burning about every time you ask me this question, I have to convert it in dollars. So I just take a quick step back. But we are burning about $5,500 a month right now. But it will go to $6,500.
So are you looking to raise more capital here shortly, or no? You're gonna stay not raise
We
anymore?
are we are looking to raise around north of 6 million in the coming days, I would say.
So you want to raise $6 million at what valuation?
Uh, we have not really decided honestly that in the coming 10 days we would be finalized on that number, but we have decided on a number that we want on board for sure because we have backtracked it to the team members that we need on board to speed it up more.
So you want to raise, you're deciding the next 10 days how much you want to raise in the valuation, but you know the amount you want to raise is 6 million.
Yeah, that's correct.
So let's say you only want to sell 20% of the business. That means you have to raise it like a $30 million valuation, but your revenue is only $7,000 per month. Do you think you can get investors to pay a significant multiple?
Yeah, I mean, the whole value of this thing is sometime in the future. That's one. Second is largely all of these things are a function of the kind of product you are building. And in the hiring industry, an assessment tool is born every day, and there are so many other tools that exist today. And people think that it's a saturated market and the product is almost commoditized. But here's where the difference is. I largely think, and we are strongly biased as a unit, that the product is not at all commoditized. We are far away from a product that would disrupt the hiring industry. And to build that sort of a product, we need talent on board. And we have just started, I would say. And all of those things are in the future. And
if you raise $6 million, it's going to be very dilutive. I mean, think about it. If you raise $6 million, you're doing $84,000 a year right now in terms of run rate. Divide that into a $30 million valuation. That's a 357x multiple. So if you raise $6 million,
yeah,
30 pre, right? That's you selling, call it between like 15 and 20% of the business. But that's a massive multiple, which I don't know that you'll be able to get. I think like maybe someone gives you a $12 million valuation and gives you $6 million, and you're selling 33% of the business. I mean, do you really want to take all that dilution?
Yeah, I would just give some examples of the company that are pre-revenue and have raised $10 million seed round. And they are companies from US. And there are companies in India that...
Give me a few of those examples.
So I would just name a few companies, right? They have raised bigger rounds. I would just name this company who just raised $38 million round from India. And then there are companies who have raised...
What's the company name?
I actually forgot the company. I met them in an incubation, at an incubator. The name of the company I have almost forgotten. They were trying to make this Gmail clone. They were trying to revise what email systems have done. And there are so many other companies, right? Companies at the likes of I've seen this company from India called WorkDuck, which is bound to raise about a $10 million round.
Yeah, so but like, they're why does any of this matter though, right? Like these are very extreme outliers you're referencing, and there might be some.
No, it does not. It does not. What I'm referring to is that the market needs that sort of an investment right now because tech talent is expensive. That's number one. Second of all, you need to have at least a couple of years of runway with that sort of a money and about 25 folks on board to get the boat sailing and get the product to a level where you want it to be.
Well, yeah, maybe, but I mean, like, look at a company like Qualified, right? They're at a $3 million run rate. They're not raising at a $40 million valuation. They're much larger than you, and they serve the same market. It's basically a coding tool for like the developers and onboarding an ATS system. They used code as their community to arbitrage their growth, so they didn't have to raise a bunch of capital. I'm just curious, like, why don't you go? Why not, instead of focusing on raising, it'll take 4 months of your time, why not just focus on closing more customers, getting up to $2 million, $1 million run rate, and then going out and doing another raise?
Yeah, we have about 5 people in the engineering team today, and about only just 3 of them are full time, and a couple of them are interns. So the kind of features that we want to build, and those are big differentiators. It won't just improve the product 10%. It will take us from 0 to 1. Those sort of features are way into the future, and we cannot just build them in 3 to 4 months of time.
Cool. Okay, that all makes sense. You know your numbers though. You must listen to the show or something.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, you know all your numbers very quick. You must listen to the show or something.
No, I'm just used to all of these numbers because they are on my fingertips. So because most of these times I just keep in my back of the hood, I keep thinking about how much runway is left, how much do we need to raise more, and how fast do we need to go. All this time, all this is in my subconscious. So it's mostly like that. And I do watch the show. So
oh, nice. Why'd you want to come on? You knew I was going to ask you all these numbers.
Oh no, I knew it. I do watch the show. I know your show has this pattern. I do love it. In fact, there are a couple of my team members who watch it, and they knew I was going to be on this podcast, and they wished me luck, and they said, "Dude, it is too big." Like,
well, I think you did a great job. Let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite book?
Oh, my favorite book so far, The Mom Test.
The Mom Test?
Yeah.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Elon Musk.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the business?
Online tool for building the business. Wow, that's interesting. I don't know. I'm just using a whiteboard right now. If my background was off, you could have seen a whiteboard, which is like showing you a complete flow. But yeah, I don't have any tool in mind, to be honest. There are so many of them. I don't have any favorite.
Whiteboard works. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Oh, 4 at the bare minimum I try. And if I'm too lucky, 7. Not more than that.
Situation, married, single, kids?
I am married. I don't have kids. I don't have plans to for the next 3 years.
How old are you, Rahul?
I am 29.
29. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
Oh, wow. I wish I had access to some capital so that I could have materialized my 20 in a way such that I was a billionaire today.
Guys, there you have it. Rahul with Interview.io, launched back in 2019, now doing $7,000 a month in revenue, helping HR teams give live coding assessments where you can see the candidate coding live along with a video thing, tag and save it for later, for doing everything related to candidate management in the developer space. They've got a team of 9 people right now building this. They raised $120,000 in a pre-seed round earlier this year at $1 million valuation. 30 customers today looking to scale, might be raising $6 million here shortly. We'll see what happens. Rahul, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks a lot, Nathan. It was great.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.